Hey SnowRunner fans, today we're going to take a look at the mini monster, the IX 0.65. Now, I shot a recent video of this pickup truck, but I thought we needed to take another look at it and explain some of the differences between this and maybe other modded vehicles. So today we're going to go over to the big mud puddle in Alaska that I like to use for testing really insane vehicles, and this one is definitely one of those. And we're towing a trailer behind us with the International Scout on it. All three of these are modded: the trailer, the Scout, and of course the .65 mini monster. So we're less than a minute through and we're nowhere near the end of this mud puddle. And we're sort of struggling a little, not to the point where I would expect most normal vehicles to be, though. Most normal vehicles would be having a much harder time of it than this one is. So let me take a moment. I'm just loving the mud spraying off of that truck. The graphics are insane on this game sometimes. They're coming off the other side now. That's fabulous. All right, so let me take a moment to explain. With the IX vehicles, there are 3 levels of modding that you can access. Pardon me. V for vanilla, which is pretty much equal to what you would get in-game on a particular vehicle. Then there's SE for special edition, which is what you would expect a normal vehicle to be like if it was modded, a normal mod in a game. And then, last but not least, you have OP for Overpowered, and that's pretty much self-explanatory. So we're going through here first in the SE. I don't have all of the parts at SE. Some of them are still at vanilla, but the main parts, pardon me, the main parts, the engine and the gearbox, are special edition. So we're heading for about 3 minutes in here. We're getting close to the end of the mud puddle. Finally. There we go. So we use the winch, once, maybe twice? And more really to pull us laterally than to give us a boost. Just to kind of get us out of the deepest mud. Look at the front wheels on that thing. They're buried in the mud. That's crazy. And it's still moving. That's crazier. So we're coming up on 4 minutes, which is about how long it takes the SE equipped 0.65 mini monster to get through this giant mud puddle. About 4 minutes. Maybe 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes? Yeah, all right. So now I'm going to leave the trailer and the International Scout, and I'm going to recover the .65 back to the garage, and we're going to change out the SE parts for the OP parts. So the engine is going to be upgraded, as is the gearbox. Both of those go from SE to OP. I think I'll leave the suspension as is. Just taking a look at what the options are here. I think we'll leave it as is. Yeah, the crawler suspension. That's SE. but that should be fine. That should be good enough. Any of the changes? The winch maybe? Thing is, with that winch you get like a gajillion points to access. I think I'll go back to the other one. That should serve me just as well. And that should probably just about do it. What a cool looking truck. And we should be good to go. Now we'll drive it back to the giant mud puddle. And it's really not that far down the road from the garage here in, I believe this is Northport, Alaska. Get that little twinge of country music there coming out of the garage. I find that quite humorous. Of course, it would be funnier if it was rap music, I guess. That would be kind of odd in Alaska, maybe. At some garage in the middle of nowhere. A bunch of dudes rapping, that'd be kind of cool. I'm not sure that a lot of people in Alaska would get it. I don't know what is up with my throat today. Alright, so we're just about there. Here we are. Cut out a minute or so of the travel. Alright, and we're back. And you can see the trailer and the International Scout in the distance. I've entered the mud now. We can see that with the OP, I'm not hauling the trailer and the Scout at this point, but this thing is really flying through the mud compared to the last time. I'm going to put it in low plus and play around in gearing a little bit, see if I can get a little more speed out of this thing. Get it over there and hitched up to the trailer. Get that thing turned around and see what kind of time we can get with the OP parts versus the SE parts. Should be significantly better. I may use the winch again this time as I did last time, once or twice, but more really for lateral movement than for forward motion. Here we go. Back to the trailer. Let's get this thing turned around. Get it through the mud. Look at the torque on this thing, it's crazy. Especially when it's towing something. Even when it isn't. But especially when its rear end is anchored to something else. Like this trailer. Still going pretty good, better than it was with the SE parts on it. Still, you can see that with this overpowered vehicle towing a fairly small vehicle and a fairly small trailer is still getting tied up pretty good in this mud puddle. This is one brutal mud puddle. There we go. A little bit of help from the winch. Maybe just that once. As we get towards the end of the mud puddle again. And we've gone through pretty much the exact same spot as we came through before. The only difference now is we're heading in the opposite direction and we have OP parts on the vehicle instead of SE parts. Other than that, everybody's the same. Everything's the same. And we're out. And I gotta tell you, that's about half the time it took with the SE parts. Truly. It took about 3 to 3.5 minutes the other way and about 1.5 minutes with these parts on. So that's a significant difference, right? 50%. If you like this video, please hit subscribe, like, and share. I'd really appreciate it. In the meantime, take care of yourself, stay safe, and bye for now.